Hey, Railbirds, Kevin here. All right, we have more Gold Division Scotch doubles for you from the 24th Western BCA 8-Ball Championships. Up next, we have the team of Bledsoe and Bledsoe versus the team of Lingelbach and Biggs. This tournament brought to you by the Chinook Winds Casino Resort. Thank you so much, Chinook Winds, for everything you do for the Western BCA. This live stream brought to you by cheapcues.com. Remember to use coupon code Railbirds. Get 10% off on most Q's cases and accessories. Sorry, that does not apply to Predator or Poison products. And our additional stream sponsors, you can show your appreciation by giving them your business whenever possible. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up, subscribe, and ring that bell. Ring that bell so you get notified when we put up new videos or when we go live. Don't forget to share. Sharing is caring. Thanks a lot. And we are your hosts, Kevin and Sherry Ross. Thanks for joining. So that Fargo rate at the bottom of the screen, that is the average of the two players in this Scotch doubles team. At the table now, we have the team of Bledsoe and Bledsoe. That's Sharon Bledsoe at the table now. Her partner is Wesley Bledsoe. All right, good hang time on that ball there. All right, these are sitting pretty nice for a nice run out for the first game here. And hello, Tammy Williams. I will pass on the message. All right, slow down, cue ball. Whoa, hold your horses. Perfect. All right, nice run there by the team of Bledsoe and Bledsoe. Taking the first game, 1-0 in this race to 4. Yep, they are using the new Stealth Fighter rack. Oh, I forgot to go over the rules. Let's go over the rules real quick before he breaks. We are playing CSI Rules 8-ball. It is alternate break, rack your own. Template rack is optional, not mandatory. It is always open after the break, no matter what is made on the break. 8 on the break is neither a win nor a loss, and this is a call ball and pocket game. No slop here. All right, they're spread out real nice. Did he make a ball? Nope, looks like a dry break. Gonna bring Carissa Biggs to the table. All right, I'm being joined by guest commentator Sean Lewis. How you doing, Sean?
Really good. How you doing?
Just another day in paradise.
Yeah, definitely.
Get to sit back, watch some good pool. All right, so at the table now we have the team of Lingelbach and Biggs, and that is Cody Lingelbach. That's Steve Lingelbach's son.
Okay. Hey, yeah. I was like, Steve's playing on a different table. This is just starting, pretty much.
This is the second game. The team of Bledsoe and Bledsoe had a nice run out on the first game. So
Awesome.
drawing first blood. All right, Cody at the table. Looks like they have elected stripes. I think that was a stripe Carissa just shot, right? I believe
Yeah.
it was.
She shot a combination.
All right, stripes are looking pretty good except for possibly that 12 ball.
Yeah, the 12, you have to get the right angle.
I mean, the 12 goes, but you got to be pretty good on it.
That was good.
That opens up the pocket a little for that 15.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's good to play. Probably going to shoot the 8 in the side. So then you'd want to like probably take these two balls out in the 10 and the 15.
Yeah.
And then play for probably, hopefully, that 12 ball because it's a little tight.
Yeah, still got to deal with that 9 ball also. Don't forget about the 9. That one's in kind of a bad spot too.
I thought that was the one.
Yeah, that 9 ball's also in kind of a problematical position, but the 15 gets into him pretty good. Looks like the 9 does go by the 1.
This is good. So he's going to try to play for straight in on the 9,
then
roll up for straight in on the 14, basically, so that you have that cut angle on the 12, and then you just have to.
And Bob's your uncle.
Yeah, well, 12 to the 8, it's not super easy.
Yeah, you got to come around the 5-2, and you got to hit it soft enough so you don't go flying past your position. So yeah, it's pretty tricky.
And he's a little bit. Didn't come up quite straight enough, so now he might have to change his pattern and shoot and play for the 12 ball.
That might be good. Play for the 12 first and then the 14. That might be get you the 8 a little easier.
14 does pass the 2 ball, but once the 12 is cleared.
Yeah, I think I like that better. Play for the 12 first and then the 14.
Yeah, now that they're at that position. That might have been the right way to do it the whole time, really.
But yeah, 14 to the 8 is going to be easier than 12 to the 8.
Yeah, exactly. Correct. Yeah, because even if you end up a little straight on the 12, you could shoot the 14 in the side and then still have a shot on the 8, potentially. See how she hits this one. Yeah. Well, I mean, you could gamble a little bit here.
Yeah, you could
shoot the 14 and bump the 12.
That's what Cody's looking at.
I don't know that you'd want to put a stroke on this ball and try to get back to that pinpoint spot to get on the 12. If it was me and I didn't think I was going to be able to do that, I might just shoot the 12. Oh, yeah. See, he made sure to bump the 12 ball, and that's why he missed that 14. So
brings
really,
Wesley Bledsoe to the table. Yes, Wesley.
yeah, so from here, yeah, if you make the 2, then that'll give you natural for the 5, and then pretty much from there, as long as they just manage the cue ball, they should be fine.
Yep. That was a nice shot
The one ball
to start with there.
The 1 ball might be the toughest shot to get on.
Right. If that 6 wasn't there, you could go to the 1 right now, but you don't really want to play the 1-6 combo.
Right. I mean, they got a couple like that. 7's in a good position, you know, to where you can use a 1-2 rail position to get on the 1. Uh-oh.
Yeah, because the 1 does go in this bottom right corner if you if you get good on it. All right, the team of Lingelbach and Biggs going to have another shot at this.
Yeah. Shoot the 12 or 12-1 rail position for the 14, and then 8 in the side. Pretty much the spot that I would try here. And then you're just
for sure.
You're never going to get behind a ball, and you're going to just be able to maintain relatively straight in for the next shot.
Yep. Start with a 12 and just make sure you can see the 14. Just don't hook yourself behind the 5 or the 1, and you're good.
Yeah, as long as you don't end up straight in on the rail. You know, here you're going to be okay because you'll be able to move the cue ball a little bit.
Oh,
I think she just got there.
Oh, ooh, that is close.
He doesn't seem to be bothered, so he must be makeable there.
All right.
He wouldn't be looking. He's probably like,
he's getting
close,
down again.
I think it's good. She actually ended up on the correct side of the ball. Sort of.
All right. No problem.
Yeah.
No problem.
So, yeah, just roll it in. So this is a race to 4 on this tournament, right? The gold.
Yeah, gold is race to 4.
Yeah. I haven't been watching any of the gold. I've been watching mostly the platinum stuff. Last 2 days.
All right, Carissa getting one back for her team, tying it up 1 apiece. Race to 4. So how are you doing in the Scotch doubles? Are you still in?
Oh, I didn't play.
You didn't play Scotch doubles?
Yeah, I just kind of came down with Molly. She's playing all the events, so we came down Saturday, and I just basically have like a 3-day vacation, and then we're gonna play singles starting tomorrow.
Your
so I've been just relaxing.
Because your frog rate's pretty high. You'd probably have to find like about a 300 for a partner to be able to play too, probably, wouldn't you?
Yeah, it's not that high, but if I wanted to play the gold, it would be something like that, I think. But yeah, I think it ended up being where, what's it? Is it 12? It's 1175.
Oh, I was afraid you'd ask me that. I don't remember what the cutoffs were.
It is 1175. So.
Is that for the gold or the platinum?
For the platinum, which is probably what I'd end up playing. So then I'd need, because I'm at like 680 something. So I'd basically need like a 480, 490-ish player, which I've, could do, but it kind of worked out with, I just decided that I was going to just have a good time. Scotch can be stressful.
Yeah, and Molly's higher than that. She's in the mid 500s, right? Or
yeah, she's like in the 530 range right now.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
We played that Big Ol' Chips tournament together, and we did really well. We ended up getting in the money, which was good, but it was a lot of pool. So I was like kind of happy I didn't have to do anything today because I was tired.
Just take a couple days off and get ready for singles.
And we basically played. We started out with 4 chips, and we played for like about 9 hours.
So you're playing in the singles, right? The elite singles,
elite
right?
Singles. Yeah, so we ended up.
You playing teams too?
Teams as well, yeah.
Who's on your team?
It's Molly, myself, David Ringler, Carl Tibbetts, and Clark Smith.
It's a solid team.
Yeah. It actually works out really nice with the numbers because with me being a little higher and then Molly being a little bit lower, then we got 3 basically like 600-ish
that's
level guys.
That's solid.
And we're like a few points under the cap, so that worked out really nice. And we're all like good friends too, so it's good. there's going to be some chemistry there, you know.
Nice.
You know, I like all the people on the team, and they're all solid, you know, so that's going to be a lot of fun.
All right, so pretty wide open break here. Are you liking stripes or solids?
Well,
I'm thinking I like stripes. The only real stripe that's in trouble is that, what, 15 over by the 8, and you can get to it pretty easily.
right, yeah, if you get underneath it with that 14, you can shoot it straight down the table, or it doesn't look like it's that easy getting the side. However, solids is not bad here. Just the first shot is a little touchy.
Yeah, that 3-5-4
If
cluster
you shoot
there
the
is
3 and you just stun it just a hair, you can get straight in on the 4, and then then you can use that to get to the 6 and then work your way
Yeah, it looks like
back up table.
that's Wesley is agreeing with your thinking there. He's starting with the 3.
Oh, he just barely missed it. Yeah, he just twisted it a little too much.
All right.
I actually thought he, instead of drawing it, if he would have just let it flow a little bit more forward, the cue ball, then he could have even then used the 5 to come back down, or the 2.
All right, so the table is still open. Do we have a shot at anything? The 10 in the side, maybe?
This is, wow, yeah, that ended up tricky. Because now it's like, even if you make a ball, you might not end up with a good shot or an easy out.
I mean, I think the 10 in the side, is that like his only shot?
Yeah.
Or 10 up in the corner?
I don't think the 10 in the side is there. It looks like that 4 ball is blocking the 10. It might even be a spot where, I mean, you might even play safe here by shooting into the 9 and then going like 2 rails under the 6 ball with the cue ball. You know what I mean? And then just like hoping that they ended up like getting us in a spot where you have a little bit of a better shot.
Yeah, it looks like he's looking at just playing safe now.
Yeah, I think off the 9 is the right way to go, because even if you just get to a spot where that 6 is tough to cut, they're going to have to basically go into the balls and maybe get into a bad spot. Yeah, see, I like this. He just has to hit it fairly full with a little bit of follow. Or you could try to draw it as well if you're afraid of scratching. Yeah, see. Oh, well, that worked out. Well, a little bit. I mean, they can make the 6 there. If he would have came down another half an inch, that would have been a nice little shot.
Yeah, he
It's
can
still
make
a pretty nice shot, though. Really.
Yeah, it's not bad at all, and yeah, he can make the 6 maybe. I mean, if you look at it from this camera angle, that's a kind of a thin back cut.
Yeah, I mean, and then actually the 13 looks like you can cut it to the left and make it as well. It's a little tough.
You know, that 14's in a bit of a tricky spot now.
Yeah, there's definitely more traffic now. What if you shoot this 6 withdrawal?
Draw into the 13.
Then it'll hold it up and won't go crazy. Just hit it a little too thinly. Yeah, if you made it a little bit fuller hit there, it wouldn't have gone so far. Now the balls are...
Now they're rearranged nicely. They're open. Solids are looking good. Start with the 5 on the side.
5 on the side. Yeah. I don't know. It doesn't look like the 6 is super easy. But actually, the 2 ball, if it's cuttable, is a good shot because you can go back and forth, and you, like, as long as you end up not on the rail, you'll definitely end up with something to shoot at next.
Yeah, that's a pretty thin
the 5 on the side is not bad. I guess on the monitor, the overhead view, it looks a little tighter, but yeah, it's almost straight in, huh?
Yeah, overhead looks like it's nearly straight in.
Yeah, and your bridge isn't going to be impeded at all.
So yeah, start with the 5, the 1 ball and the 7 ball. Those are the ones that are kind of problematic.
Yeah. Well, 7 goes in, I don't know if it goes past the 14, but I mean, it goes into all the corners.
Looks like it goes, yeah, into all 4 corners, it looks like.
Yeah, and if it goes past that 14 in the side, then it's actually, you should fall on it accidentally, which is kind of how I like to play those balls that are in the middle of the table. It's hard to play shape for them, but you can get there accidentally by shooting another shot, and then you're just like, oh, it's this ball straight in, so I'm going to shoot it right now and get it out of the way and then move on. I mean, I think people think that's risky to just like not really worry about that, but
oh yeah,
exactly. When the balls are like that, you got to get so good on them that really some of the time you're trying for something else and you don't get there, and then all of a sudden now you're perfect on another ball that could be tricky down the road. So you just shoot it and then you just readjust your pattern. At least that's how I play. I I think when I play 8-ball, I don't really have like a set pattern, especially when the balls can be a little bit tricky. You know, you kind of have to work your way through the rack because you can't just expect to execute every shot. Yeah, so he's just going to roll this one. Yeah, the 3 to the 1.
Here, I got to go check a score real quick, so entertain the troops for me while I'm gone.
Okay. Yeah, so just checking the angle here. Shouldn't scratch, so if you just make it, then I believe that you're going to have to play for the 4 or the 6 next because the cue ball shouldn't travel quite a ways. Yeah, it doesn't look like you can hold it up. Oh, Chris hit it a little bit too full.
Yeah, I just had to go check the score on that other table on our bonus coverage. In case you're not aware, we have a second live stream going. Bonus coverage of table 10. You can find that at railbirdstv.com.
Yeah, so you can watch both of 9 and table 10, table 9 and 10.
Yep, the bonus coverage is no commentary.
Yeah, that's still pretty awesome, though.
All right, so what I missed while I was gone, Wesley's at the table. Is he shooting stripes or solids?
What happened just now is Cody made the 3 and left her a little thin on the 1. She missed the ball, so now this is just where they ended up, which is pretty good accidental position.
I see.
So Wesley's just going to shoot the 1 ball that they can make and hope that something good happens. If he makes a good hit here, he should actually... Yeah, that was a tough shot. It wasn't really that was kind of an unfortunate the way that they kind of, I mean, you know, she may have been actually playing that position knowing that was a tough shot and then just being like, well, if I miss this, it's not the end of the world. I mean, Chris is definitely a crafty player, and that 1 ball was not an easy cut. She hit it really soft, so I felt like she was trying to leave it down on the end of the table knowing that there was a good chance that she was going to end up with wow, that was good speed.
That's a nice safety there. Nice shot, Cody.
Yeah, it's a good shot. So now you're basically going to have to kick at the 10, I think is the shot here, and hope to make it in the side.
Yeah, and it's got, you know, it might even go in off of one of those other balls, too.
Correct,
so you got multiple chances to make it.
Yeah, if you hit it thin, you can go off the 14. If you hit it full, you can go off the 15, or you can hit it right in. You do have to put enough speed on it to where if you do interact with one of those other balls, you're not going to get the rail. You can't just lag this shot. You actually have to hit it a little bit harder than you might think. Yeah, because if you touch any of the other balls and you hit it full, it's not going to get to the hole.
All right, good
That's
hit.
Good. See, that was the speed you needed to hit. Yeah, so rearrange the furniture a little bit. Now well, I guess they got the 1 there, so they still have a good way to get on the 8 from either side. You know, the 8 doesn't go into the side pocket, so, you know, but they're a pretty manageable situation. It's like, I think getting on the 7 is really the tough shot here. But she could do that.
You might even go after the 7. Now shoot the 6 and go after the 7.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because you could roll it forward, 6, and just go forward a little bit. And then if you overroll, you can shoot it in the side. And if you're straight in on then you're good. You know, and then if you overroll a lot, you could even actually aim to go into the ball. If you bump the 7 here and you're shooting the 6, I think it's almost 100% you're going to end up with a shot because the 4 is there. And the 1 is there, and the 7 also. You could be making it.
Yeah,
if it was me, I wouldn't necessarily.
Yeah, I wouldn't
necessarily be shooting the shot she's shooting right now.
Yeah, I like shooting the 6 and playing to go past the 7 for the 7 in the same corner as the 6.
Yeah, no, I like that too. I definitely like that.
Oh, that's a nice shot.
Nice.
Shoot that nice.
It just seemed a little risky to me.
Yeah.
She's confident with that shot. Obviously, I probably would have done something else just because I would be afraid if I missed that ball that we're going to sell out the whole game.
Yeah, especially when you had, probably an easier shot you could have started with, like that 6 ball.
But she hit it nice, so.
Yeah, she did. She hit that, hit it sweet.
Yeah, so now you just got to make sure that you escape this traffic. You can just go, Yeah.
Oh, no, no, no.
Oh, still alive.
If she
Yeah.
can't see the 4, she can definitely see the 2.
Yeah, he hit that with just a hair too much
maybe
top spin.
Maybe not definitely.
Yeah, it doesn't look. I believe the 2 is pocketable here. I really do.
And I believe she can see the 4, so I think she has her choice.
Yeah, you just have to bear down and make a shot here. Either one that you shoot, if you hit it with reasonably slow speed, pocket speed, you're going to end up with a shot on the 6.
Yeah, I like the 2
position.
I like the 2 better just because it's an easier shot.
Personally, yeah.
So when I'm
assuming it goes, it might not go.
If it goes, if the 10's not in the way.
Although, looking at where the balls are ending up, yeah, see, I think she might have shot that shot thinking that if she missed it, then they'd end up with a tougher shot. And if she shot the 2, they'd have an easier shot. And, I mean, she might have been playing thinking that she wasn't confident that she was going to make the ball. Because this is, I think, really the 14.
And it's entirely possible she couldn't see the 2.
Yeah, exactly. So it might have been her only option. I mean, I guess she could have. Yeah, I think you're supposed to go for it. I was thinking, you could just slow kick at the 2. But, yeah, so he's just going to shoot this ball, try to make it. And he didn't make it.
Is this going to come up in the way? Yeah. Nope.
Not quite.
All right, that 8 definitely does go up tables, so they're
I like
pretty
playing
good
this. For me, I like playing this to play for the 2. I shoot the 4, play for the 2.
Yep.
And then use the 2 to use the 6, because the 6 is kind of where it's at. You can you can go one rail up towards the 8 without like creating a crazy line where you have to like go into the zone. You're almost the 6 is actually on the line of where you want the cue ball anyways. So as long as you stay parallel to that, you're good. Yeah, and the other thing is
kind of funny here.
Yeah, see, he didn't come up high enough, or he hit it. You know what I mean? Like he had to slow roll it a lot to get that shape. As long as she can cut this ball, as long as she doesn't end up basically right where the cue ball is now, it should be pretty manageable.
Yeah, it's a thin cut. Nice shot, and that's perfect speed. Nice shot, Carissa.
Yep, that was really good.
Yeah, that's perfect speed.
Can just, I just shoot this with the
position
center ball with a touch of right English, and then it'll start rolling forward as it gets to the 6, and that will create, it'll just go right into the zone. You could actually just even hit it high ball.
Yeah, just roll it. Center ball is.
That's good.
That's fine. That's perfect. Or pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, she's supposed to be able to just roll this ball in and pretty confidently make it. I mean, I haven't seen her miss anything that wasn't, a reasonable shot yet. So, and this is actually, it's like that. This is the angle that I prefer to shoot this shot. I'd rather be on this side of the 8 than the other side.
Oh, sure, yeah.
This way you can rub the rail going in, and it feels like it's just going to go way more often than if you're cutting it and hit the same spot on the rail for whatever reason. I don't know if it's just the way that the
just
cue ball imparts that English on the 8 ball. On the ball like that.
Yeah, for me, I have a lot more feel shooting from here as opposed to if you have this exact same angle except on the other side of the 8, where you're kind of back cutting a little. I have no feel for those.
Yeah, because it's almost like it's a blind hole. You know what I mean? Because you're like, your vantage point is you're facing away from the pocket versus this shot, you're facing right at it. It's almost like you can see the hole better from over here versus like being 2 feet to the right of that, with your body. So on the other table, because I'm kind of watching over there too, do you know who's shooting right now in the black? Is that?
I think that's team Silva and Staub, I believe.
Silva and Staub, okay.
I think.
Okay, yeah, because they're not. Oh, they are scoring up there. Okay, so we can just watch that now.
Yeah, you can just watch the score.
I was just gonna try to see who makes the 8 so that I know. who those players are because I haven't met any of those people. All right, so it's 2-1. Still got some work to do on both ends here.
Oh, Sherry was just sending me a message saying it says day 1 on the title. No, it says day 2 for me.
Yeah,
maybe she's looking at the wrong one. Maybe she's looking at day 1.
Yeah.
Oh, Sherry just sent me another message. Said never mind. She was looking at the wrong one.
Sorry, I was off for a second. Molly was describing about how they should have dominated and made a couple mistakes, and then it got really close, which is seems like that happens every day, all day.
Oh, being the ear man for your woman is way more important than coming up here and commentating with us. I totally get that.
It kind of worked out where I was like, you know what? I bet you that chair up there next to Kevin, I can see this table over here where Molly's playing. You know, and keep an eye on her while not being in the way.
I think we got to get Molly up here. You and Molly can be a commentary team.
Well, maybe once she's done with the tournament, but hopefully that won't happen. If she's playing, she obviously won't be commentating. Now they're down. I think there's only 4 teams left in the platinum. Okay. Ooh, this is. I think you can take stripes here.
If you can, that 14's looks like the main. Well, the 14 and the 12 are problematic.
Well, if you look, I think what I would like to do, if it's me, and then I'm not saying that I'm right here because this is a tricky out, because that 12 ball is obviously trouble also. Yep. But you can shoot the
15,
the 15, and then bump the 14. Use high ball, and then you should end up with a shot on the 11.
I think that's what Carissa is thinking. Looks like she's going to try to bump this 14.
And that'll clear that problem out, but there's still other problems.
She hit that nice.
Yeah, there's still other problems here.
Yeah, got to deal with that 12.
I think the 12 does pass the 8 into the far corner, so that might be the option. It looks like from the monitor, that's the overhead, that it does.
Ooh, that is really tight if it does. But if it does, well,
not that I would
here's
ever
what you
want
do.
to play for that shot.
So if the 12 does not pass the 8, what you do is you call for a referee to remove the magic rack, and then maybe it goes after that.
Ouch. Well, I guess you got to use the environment that they give you. It's not your fault if that happens.
Yeah.
Okay. So
all right, nice shot, Cody.
I like that. You could potentially shoot this 13 and go into the 8 here, or even just go into the 8, or go into the 10, bump those balls. You have the 9 or the 11 as a safety valve. So you could be aggressive here on that 13 going into those balls if you wanted to, but I still don't think you have to do that. I feel like they're going to be able to find a better way, a less risky way. Like this might ending up perfect. Whoa, not quite. Not quite.
Wow.
Now what do? You call for the ref and hope that they move the balls.
The ref will probably look at you and say, "No, I'm not moving all those."
Yeah, there's zero chance I'd be shooting this shot with that magic rack in there. I just don't. I would never be comfortable doing anything out of there. Because you're shooting over that rack to go shoot the 9 ball, and if you slow roll anything, it can change the pathway. You know what I mean? And you don't want, I guess that's the safest shot, but it's going to move.
You're going kind of perpendicular over the rack.
If the cue ball's sliding here, it might move the rack. Oh, he shot it off of the ball.
Oh, and it got a nice little bump.
And a bad one on top of that. One good one, one bad one. I don't know if it equalized.
If you thin off the 13, leave the cue ball over behind the 4. I don't think that 3-5 combination goes.
You could, I don't know. Yeah, I think what you could do here is actually if you could thin the 13 and it touches the 2 ball, then.
Okay, and then just cue ball like in the center of the end rail.
Yeah, and you just want to trap them under the 10, and then you just let them shoot at the 4. Because the 2 might help block also, and actually, if you can move the 2 into those groups, into that group of stripes, then that'll make it more difficult. Because right now it goes right in past the 13. You know what I mean? So.
And did I just say he when I was referring to Carissa? If I did, I apologize. Sorry about that.
Yeah, I honestly haven't been paying that much attention to the shooters. That's kind of an interesting, yeah, with the Scotch doubles thing, it's like, so in this, do you have their individual Fargos? Do you know what they are? Yeah, she shot the shot that I was like recommending. Yeah, because see now, it's a good spot for her because she's basically, they're controlling that 2 ball, you know, and there's really, I think maybe they have a shot on the 5, but it doesn't look like it. And the 4 is not, you know, I think maybe here.
Yeah, that was a really nice. That was a really nice shot there.
You like just go full off the 4 ball and go down towards the. Yeah, but that's not safe either because they have that 13. If you went up there.
Yeah, ideally you want to get that cue ball like up near that upper left pocket somehow.
Right. I like.
You can like follow through the 4 ball and try to get the cue ball to the upper left.
Looks like he's just gonna shoot this combination. He called the 6, I think. Maybe
playing the billiard off the 4.
He's just hoping that it goes in. Yeah, that was pretty.
Did he get away with this? I think he got away with this.
Well, I think he can. I think the 12 is. Oh wow.
No, he totally got away with this. Yeah. Good safety there, Wesley.
Yeah, well, he had a chance to make that ball.
And
the 6 was a big ball because the 7. I think the carom with the 7 was on. He hit it too thin.
Yeah, and if he would have made it, he was sitting in a position where they could have run out from there, except for maybe that 2 ball.
That was a good shot, actually, right there.
Oh, that's
he
nice
blocked
speed.
That 6, the hanger 6, and then now there you have to shoot a combination on the 2.
That was nice speed.
Yeah. That was a good shot. That was a really good shot. Okay, so it's 2-0 now.
Thank you for keeping an eye on that.
Table. Yeah, so. Oh, I didn't see what the shot there. What,
I was looking at the chat room for a second to see what was going on, and I looked up and
she made the 6 somehow. I didn't think that they had a pocket.
Did she go rail first, maybe?
Yeah, I mean the 7 moved, so maybe she shot a carom. Yeah, now if they can get on the 2 ball, and they're in a good spot. I think that you can make the 2.
So you guys, you're listening to Kevin Ross being joined by guest commentator Sean Lewis.
Yeah. So what do you think here? I think
you got to do something with this 2 ball, is what I think.
Like use a stop shot on the 1, or not quite, maybe a little bit of draw to leave your angle to like shoot the 3, and then go forward into the 2, 12, and then use the 5 as your reposition ball.
You just got to get the perfect angle on the 3.
Yeah.
A little bit too much to the left or to the right, and you totally miss the 2 ball.
Yeah. But I think that's, at this point,
I think that's your only chance, really.
Well, I mean, I feel like there's some safeties available here. If you shoot you could bank the 5 towards those 2 balls and use draw and go behind the 1 and the 3.
Shoot a trick shot. Shoot a trick shot. Shoot the 2 off the 10 into the corner.
Yeah. That's doable, but with the 3 there blocking the 5 in the side, it's actually it'd be a little tricky to shoot your next shot. I think he's just going to try to. I mean, really, this isn't terrible because, like, even from here, ooh, I like that angle. It looks like you might be able to.
It looks to me like he has too much angle.
Oh, a little too wide, yeah. I was thinking it's like almost the right angle to hit the 12 and clear the 2, so you can just shoot the 2 right away. But yeah, now in order to do it, you'd have to power it. You might have. I mean, I might try to shoot this and go 2 rails like underneath the 2. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 2 rails. Out of that bottom right corner.
Yeah, like
come at the backside of the 2 ball.
Exactly.
That's
like
what I was just thinking.
Barely past the 8, and go, first diamond into those 3 balls, and then with power enough to, separate. But she could just shoot a stop shot right here, and then the 5 would go down there, and you could maybe use that as a blocker without even having. I mean, you know what I mean? If you shot a stop shot on the 5 right here,
Yeah.
they would have nothing. They'd have to kick, and then potentially the kick shot.
I like that. I like the safety.
Yeah. See
oh
that?
no.
You were right. See, the angle wasn't there.
Yeah, I liked
Stop shot on the 5 there.
I like that. I like that safety.
He could have got lucky in a lot of ways with using the 5 to maybe potentially, like, he could have hit the bottom of the 13 and gone into the 2 and cleared them both out. And then at minimum they'd be kicking at their balls. You know, that's too bad that she scratched right there.
All right, ball in hand. Carissa is going to come to the table. Probably going to start with this 12, I would assume.
Yeah. I mean, really, yeah, that's good. You just have to just bear down and make the ball stop shot, and then hope that you leave a little bit of an angle.
You go to the you go to the 10 next, or you go to the 13 next from the 12.
I like going forward here.
Yeah.
Just forward for a stop shot, and then
Just roll forward for the 13 and then the 10.
Yeah, because I don't think you don't want to end up underneath the 10 to where you have to hit the 2. So this is a safer shot because I feel like you can just let your cue ball roll a little bit, and that makes the ball so much easier to pocket.
Yes.
You know, when you're close to the ball like that, it's so easy to spin it and turn it out of the hole when you probably put a stroke on it versus just like using just like a rolling ball. You can it's way more natural reaction. It's easier to predict. Yeah, and then so now it's like, if there's any angle here, she can go forward or backwards. And if it's straight in, then I'd probably just draw the ball.
Looks like just a little bit of angle going to the end rail.
Yeah, that's perfect, though. If you go to the end rail, then you can do a lot with this shot. You can punch it. You can go 2 rails forward. You know. You could even, I don't think that you'd want to power up here and go backwards with it. I feel like, 1 rail just sort of straight in is good. And the way the balls are, if she now you can just float the 8 in. I really feel like I probably would have tried to play for the corner more so than the side. This is one of my least favorite shots, though. I'll tell you that. Cutting it, letting your cue ball roll forward towards the corner while you're shooting that ball on the side is just like, I'm uncomfortable with it. I'm uncomfortable with it. But, it seems like...
you hit it good.
Oh, wow.
That's a nice shot.
That was
and
really nice.
Good cue ball. Didn't really leave an easy shot for its opponent.
Yeah, that was a good one. That was a good one.
Puts the team of Lingelbach and Biggs on the hill. 3-1 in this race to 4. So you're asking about individual Fargo rates. I did not look them up for these players.
It's fine. I feel like
I've been looking them up, but
around I thought she was like 540 or 550. Excuse me, and then that would put Cody as so she's 543. So then Cody is 500. 470. Okay. Oh yeah, that's the average. So that makes sense. That's actually a decent amount of balance.
A lot more Bledsoes than I was thinking there was going to be.
Yeah, no doubt. I was like, oh, I guess it's going to take a little bit.
So Wesley's a 555.
So it's a similar. Oh, she's going to be quite a bit lower than that then, huh? Because their average is less.
And Sharon, 386. And yeah, their average is less by about 37 points.
Yeah, which, it's sort of significant, but at the same time, it's in these
short race and playing Scotch doubles where it's a little bit different. It doesn't necessarily apply directly 1-to-1.
Yeah, exactly. There's a lot more in play than just that one number.
Exactly.
Because especially with, and this is something that I've found, and I don't know if you believe this is true completely, but I found with a lot of the novice players, they're a lot better at one game than the other typically, and you know, I feel like a lot of players are either good at 8-ball or good at 9-ball because they haven't played so much pool that they've mastered all the skills that you need for each of the games. So they kind of just develop one before the other, you know. So even if your Fargo is like 400, you know, on average, you might actually be like, you know, 350 at 9-ball, and you could be a 450 at 8-ball, and that's just the way that it worked out, you know.
Interesting way of thinking about that.
So I mean, the number itself is, it's not as meaningful as like the situations when how you're getting the number, you know, because it's 8-ball, 9-ball, 10-ball on 8, 7, 8, 9 footers.
Yeah, and it's all
Those
combined
three
together
games
into
are all
one
different,
number.
yeah. And like if you
Mike,
only have,
but Mike Page insists that that it all works out, that it's okay to do that.
Well, yeah, no, I think in the long run it does. But I feel like if you only have 80 or 90 games in the system, then it might not quite be as, because you know, he'd probably be the first one to tell you that it's not going to be nearly as accurate with low robustness players.
Yeah, well, of course. Well, 80 or 90 games, that's not even established at that point.
Exactly, and that's why I say it's like, well, it makes it interesting for me to talk about. I don't know about you, but I start like getting to that. It's the rabbit. I'm the rabbit hole guy. Where I'm like, I wonder if this means anything or if it's just me liking to talk.
And I do like reading all those Mike Page blogs and his his videos where he goes into all the statistics and with all his graphs and pie charts and everything. So I like watching those.
Oh, it's cool. I really appreciate all the work that he's done for pool.
Absolutely.
Especially in the transparency department where, you know, it's everything that he puts out there. He has an explanation and logic and evidence behind it. All of the theories and hypotheses or whatever you call it that he's using, you know, and it's all science-based, you know, mathematical, you know, evaluations. It's not like, you know, your judgment as a person of another player's ability. You know, it's strictly based on data, and that's pretty strong, you know, and he explains the variance and stuff very well where, you know, each player has the ability to play, you know, 100 to 150 points above or below their Fargo rating on any given day, but it averages out to, you know, that number overall. And then he proves it through multiple, you know, like especially in these bigger tournaments where you're playing thousands of games, you know, a lot of that stuff, just all the little, you know, inconsistencies just go away, and it kind of just evolves into one thing that's exactly what. But I mean, that's how he did the math. You know, he did the math, and that's what he came up with. But he explains like why people play good one day and not the other day. You know, rather than having, well, I didn't feel great that day, that's why I played bad. You know, like it's just that's human nature. You know, they're gonna have off days.
No, I like everything Mike Page does, and it's all science-based. That's what you get when you have a guy with a PhD that decides to take up pool statistics.
Yeah,
you get a very scientific-based approach, which I like that.
Oh yeah, it's sweet. I'm happy I didn't have to do it myself. Not that I ever would. I'm not. I mean, it's cool that they're doing it, and I support it completely. But it's I guess it's just not my thing. I do like talking about stuff like that though. Because I really am behind the system, you know, even though, you know, if you look in a vacuum, the Fargo system doesn't really favor the better players as much in these handicap events, you know, because it's not like we're being penalized, but it just seems like, you know, in a Scotch doubles situation, the more equally skilled your partner is to your own skill, the better overall result you're going to have in general, just because you're both going to have the strengths that you need to have to execute certain tricky shots versus like having one person that, because it's just the way the roles are. Sometimes you're shooting all the easy shots, they're shooting all the tough shots, and if you're equally skilled, you're going to have the same percentages.
Yeah, if you have two teams that are both add up to 1,000, and one of the teams has two 500 players, and the other team has a 700 and a 300, those are two very different teams, even though they both add up to 1,000.
Yeah, exactly. You know, and it, you know, if you think about it, it's like emotionally, you know, it's not, I wouldn't say that it's harder, but it's just, you feel like you're at a disadvantage when you have a player that's lower rated than the other two players you're facing, just because you're like, man, you know, but a lot of that's just your own, you just have to have the willingness to do it. And then once you get over the struggle of it, which is just normal pool in general, then you can be okay. You know what I mean? And you can be successful. You just have to play really well and hope that your partner plays their game, you know, which is what you're doing anyways. It doesn't change anything. And
All right, so we got crease
this
at
is still the shot after the break, I think.
All right, crease at the table, shooting at stripes. Or is this still open? Is she playing
I'm
this
pretty sure it's
combination
still open here. I think she's shooting this triple combo. Oh, interesting.
All right, I think they're stripes. I think she was playing safe.
Ah, okay, that makes sense. That was a good shot then.
Yeah, they are stripes. She was playing safe.
I think actually that she was hoping to move. I actually think she might have been playing to pot the 7 and the 3, but just didn't hit that 13.
Oh, that would have been a nice shot.
You know what I mean? Because then it would have opened up both of those. I mean, it would have opened up the 13 and
quite
took away.
quite the multitasker of a shot. That would.
But she did the important part there, which is make that 3 ball. Because the 7, you have to kind of be in the correct spot to make it.
Right.
The 3 is just wide open from everywhere. So that was a really good shot. It could have been that was really crafty. That was sweet. They're not really in a terrible spot here because if you think about it, you know, if they get back to the table and the balls are in a similar position, they can shoot the 15 off the 7 to make it in the side, and that'll open up that whole zone. I mean, you could get lucky, and the 7 could kick out the 1 ball, and then now all your balls are open. Okay, it's 3-0 now on the other table, so they are also on the hill. And see, now what do you like here?
Yeah, the only shot he has, I think, is the 14.
You don't think he can make the 7 in the side? No,
that's right. He's shooting solids. That's right. I was thinking
make the 7 in the side. I feel like the 7 would be the shot I would shoot but you can come at the 7 from anywhere like mid-table down. Well, he blocked that 12 ball. Or the 13. What is that? The green ball?
That's the 14.
The 14. I still, even after all these years of playing with these balls, I keep forgetting the numbers. I guess because in 8-ball, it just doesn't happen so often that you have to call the ball. You know, because it's just most shots are obvious. Wow, this is pretty good. I don't know if they have the angle to break that ball out when.
No, if she shoots the 13, it's going away from the 12.
This is a cool try though. Draw back, make the 7, bump those balls out. If he would have made the 7 right there, I mean, it would have created that space for queuing. It would make this shot much simpler. I think in my mind, I would have probably shot the 9 ball and came back around for that. That's because in the whole time in my mind, I guess I had that shooting the 15 off the 7 to open the balls up would have been something that I saw immediately. But now, it's still not terrible for stripes here.
I'm looking at shoot to 13 in, roll forward, bank to 12 cross side, but then you still got to get around for those other 3 stripes that are back down table.
Yeah,
she's looking at the 12 now.
Yeah, I think the 12 is almost a better shot here because it's a little bit easier to cue. And
if she can hold the cue ball just to the other side of the 1 for the 13 back down table.
Yeah, and if you don't move that ball right now, you might never be able to get back around where you can actually make it without banking at it or something.
Right. And this might be the best shot you're ever going to get at it.
And if she was able to bump the 1. Because it looks like she's using draw here. Yeah, see, if she would have made that ball, that would have been a good controlling position. I still feel like there's a lot of work to be done here. That 6 ball and the 2 ball.
Yeah, exactly.
Are not ideal for solids. Well, what can you do here? If you roll the 7 in, then you have an angle on the 6.
Yeah, if you roll the 7 in, maybe you can have a shot on the 2, but then the cue ball's going the wrong way to get to the 6. Got to navigate all that traffic.
Well, I like this pattern. If you shoot the 4 for that, and then shoot the 1, and then you can roll the 7, and that should create the angle on the 6 ball. And then depending on where you end up with that, you can either try to shoot the 2 into the same pocket as a 6, or you can go forward and shoot it all the way down table into the corner, you know, past the 13. But it's all dependent on what ends up happening here, because if you end up with too close to the rail here, then you might. It's a little tricky to control the speed when you're just rolling it and you're going kind of like you're trying to keep this line. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So yeah, he's looking at if you just get a nice angle on the 7, roll that in. If you can just get the cue ball in between that 214 area, just in that ballpark.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be coming naturally right at the line of the 6 the whole way.
Mm-hmm. Right, yeah, but yeah, the 6 is if
and
you
then
get
6 to the 2. The 2 goes in the upper left corner.
Yeah.
Past the 13. If you can, depends on the angle you get on the 6. If you have a thin cut on the 6, or if you can hold the cue ball.
Yeah, the 2 is really tricky here. Going from the 6 to the 2 is tricky.
Or when you cut the 6 in, try to bump the 9 with the cue ball.
Yeah, this is. See, now it's like if you roll the 7 in here.
Yeah, the cue ball came out a little. Yeah, cue ball came out a little too far. You have to kind of drag this.
Right, or if you just pocket speed and just leave the cue ball right there, you'll have a shot. But then it's tricky for him to get back to it. But you know what I might do here. I mean, because Wes is a little bit of is supposed to be the better player here. So if she ends up with a good angle on this, what I would maybe do is just play to shoot the 6. Yeah, see, now the angle that she has here, I think the best shot is actually to try to run into the 9.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
If you run into the 9, then you'll end up with something on the 2 ball. You know what I mean? Like if you just float at it and then hit it, because it's too tricky to try to play underneath it, because you can't spin the ball when you're that close to the rail. So you only have to just play the speed and the line.
Oh, man.
Ooh. Yeah, I don't think it goes.
Man, that is so tight.
It looks like it passes maybe the 8, but then I think now that it's over there, it doesn't pass the 13.
Man, that is super tight. I think it still goes.
Oh, she's playing it. Well,
man, I think it goes.
You know, the nice thing about this is if she shoots this shot and makes it, as long as she doesn't do anything with the cue ball, he'll have a shot in the side on the 8. So really now you just put a little draw and then hit it soft.
Or even follow. The 8 does go in the corner.
Oh, does it now? Did it get bumped?
It passes the 10.
I didn't think it went originally.
Yeah, the 8 passes the 10, so you can shoot as a follow or draw.
Yeah. See, now, yeah, you just bear down and make the ball.
And I said he. I meant she. Sorry about that.
Yeah, that ended up being, ooh, well.
I think
she might have just shot at it without really knowing, because that looked really, really, really close.
I think it had room.
Yeah, well, I believe that it did. I mean, if she lined it up and it looked like it was just a tough shot.
Yeah, she just missed
it
as well.
The balls were so close together. That's just not easy.
But these stripes are wide open now.
Yeah, because you can just shoot the straight in ball in the corner, and then stop shot on the 12, and then you can shoot the 9, and then use the 10 to go back up table for the 14. You know, just like stop or pull back just a little bit. Yeah, now you just go one rail position for the 9 ball. And then depending on the angle, you can either float for the 14 or shoot the 10 and then come back for the 14. But I like using the 14 as the key ball for the 8.
Yeah,
it's a little higher up the table, so then that allows you to use that one rail position to get back just pretty straight in without having to put a stroke on the ball.
Sean and Sean, table 41.
Heard her calling Sean on table 41, but that's the last name, not the first name.
I know, it's so weird. When we were playing the chip tournament the other day, it was like there was another Molly that was playing in the tournament, which is really unusual.
Right.
There's only about like 6 on the planet, and then and there was another Sean as well. So like every 5 minutes, they were like, because they're calling every single match out every time. So it was like every time I heard my first name, I was like, what? and then she was doing the same thing. It was very interesting.
You're both going, what? Huh? What?
Yeah, but yeah, that was a fun little event actually. Never played that format before, so that was pretty cool. It was a lot of pool, which was actually, which is great. You can play so much you're tired at the end. Not just from being here, but actually from playing pool was cool.
Well, that's a packed day of pool then.
Yeah. Yeah, so he can just roll. I mean, if he overrolls and you get straight in on the 14, you could just shoot it. But yeah, no, from this position, this is pretty much, you just want to like go between the 8 and the 2.
Yeah, just don't hook yourself behind the 2 or something like that.
Yeah,
Then you're
actually,
good.
you know what? I like here, for me, I might even shoot this ball and put a little pop on it and then go 3 rails.
Go all the way around table.
Right, yeah. Just take the 2 out of the equation, come back down towards that corner and go 2 rails back towards the 14. But it is a little bit more speed, but I like that because you just never are going to hook yourself behind the 2 ball if you come at it from that direction, although you do have to hit it a little bit more.
Yeah, just shooting
powerfully.
just shooting this with the right spin, just to try to come past the 2. Yeah, I'd be afraid of hooking myself behind the 2.
Yeah.
Then I'm going to overhit it. Then I've gone too far.
And you're kind of going at the side pocket too. You know what I mean? Like if you shoot the 10 and you go into the rail and you're going between the 8 and the 2, the side pocket's big right there. You could easily overroll, and that might cause you to understroke it and then leave yourself thin on the 14.
Oh, and there's the other Lingelbach, Steve on the next table over.
Yep. So we're curious to see how she shoots it. I mean, you could even still from here. I don't like the back cut on the 14.
She could even shoot this with inside and play on the bottom side of the 14 if she wanted to.
That might be the right shot here, actually. Just stay underneath the balls. Yeah, see, this is kind of what I think was one of the reasons why I would choose that longer 3-rail position shot, even though it looks flashy. I think a lot of people don't practice those longer, like, multi-rail positions as much as they should, because I felt like, for me, that shot was way less risk than this shot as far as trying getting a good position, because this is the spot that it's makeable, but this is not where you want to be.
Yeah,
you want to be above it on the other side. Oh, he made it.
Oh, what a nice shot. Center of the hole.
Made it. That was a good shot.
And she has a shot.
Wasn't easy.
She has a shot at the 8. It's not an easy shot, but
yeah, that was a good shot. And she's off the rail enough to where this is pretty reasonable. And the 2 ball, I think, blocks the scratch a little bit, which makes it more comfortable. Yeah, I think the 2 is definitely blocking the scratch.
Yeah,
and that's beautiful because this is a shot where I miss 90% of the time I miss the shots because I'm afraid of scratching, not because I think I'm going to miss the ball.
Yeah, because you're putting spin on it to avoid the pocket.
Right.
Or if you could just shoot it with center ball, you can make it most of the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice shot.
Fired it in.
All right, and that hit the team of Lingelbach and Biggs defeating the team of Bledsoe and Bledsoe. All right, I want to thank you for joining me, Sean.
Hey, you're welcome. It was a good time. Thanks for having me.
Kevin with Railbirds, and we're going to have plenty more pool for you guys coming up, so be sure to stick around. Thanks.
Yep.